Dill Y'all 357, thank you for the super chat. Dill Y'all says this is the first super chat, so thank you for that. Business owners are complaining about $15 minimum wage because workers aren't working their usual long hours, but they don't have to work as hard when their needs are being met.
Yes.
That's just kind of how that...
It's like,
that makes sense.
God, man, we can't get these slaves to work as hard as they were working before.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah.
we can't, maybe we need to get a cattle prod or something to that effect. Look.
They don't have any will to be worked to death.
People were desperate, and now they're less desperate. I don't know if that's true or not. The $15 an hour wage, look, people clearly, just based on incentives, want to pay people as less as they can possibly pay somebody to do a job. The people who are working for them want to get paid as much as they can get paid to do as little as possible. That's always been the case. It's just the model involved in the process, especially in jobs that you don't want to do. If it's a job that you love, you can sit there and do it for hours. I mean, I fucking love doing this. I could sit here and even when I wasn't getting it done, I would sit here and do this for hours. But for something that you hate, that is labor, then yeah, you end up having to pay people to do it. I don't know if people are working less hard. I think that's a little weird to me. Hours that they may work may be cut down because they don't need to take as many hours.
Well, that's what she said.
Yeah, but that's not them working less hard.
No, that's not. That
Maybe I misunderstood.
Hard.
I misunderstood. I thought you said they were working less.
No, they're working less hours. Less
hours. That's not a horrible
because
thing.
They don't.
So what?
They don't have to work.
So what?
$15 an hour actually covers their needs. So no, they don't need to be in here working overtime.
It's like, I'm making $11 an hour, so now I have to take 2 shifts. Or I have to take another shift at night instead of being home with my kid. Yeah, suck it. My uncle, who's worked his entire fucking life, has to still work. He's 60 and is working 2 jobs? Why? Because he's not making enough money in order for 1 job. So now he has to work 2 jobs. Sick mom, 2 jobs. Now, understand what that means. This is somebody who's in his own age. He has his own history of medical issues in the past. And he is now being dependent upon by his mom in addition to working 2 jobs. Why?
And he's retired.
If he was making $15 an hour, it wouldn't be an issue. He couldn't retire in that sense. I mean, meaning he didn't have the capacity to retire in real terms because he worked his entire life. He struggled his entire life. In many respects, just like these greedy capitalists didn't necessarily want to pay him a decent wage, so he just got paid whatever he could get paid. Same thing with my mom. My mom started working when she was right out of high school. She didn't necessarily she didn't want to go to college. She hated school. But for the most part, she started working. She was only getting paid, I think, like $8 an hour when she started. Like, it was like little of nothing. And when she retired, I think she was making like 14 or 15. 25 years later. Put that in context. Like the notion that a person can work their entire day and still not have enough to make ends meet because they don't get paid a decent salary. Yeah. And these fuckers are complaining, they're not working the extra shifts.
Screw that.
Good
for them.
What that means is that the only reason they were working those extra shifts before is because they were hungry.
They needed the money.
Yes.
They needed the money.
And they could complain to me. It's like the slave owners. Oh, you've taken our slaves away. Who's going to do the fields? You're so uppity now.
Whose voice is that?
They're so uppity now.
Whose voice is that?
Those are the slave owners.
All right. Are you good on
That's
that
the slave owner voice.
Okay, I don't know.
Who's going to do the fields? You freed the slaves. That's how they talk.
Okay.